Hi friends, welcome to Sailing Liberty.
We're really glad you're back.
This is the ultimate crown tackle episode. When it's time to invest in your crown tackle, it's no place to take any shortcuts.
Yeah, we're not skimping on a thing and we're doing everything right. It's a lot of hard work, it costs a few bucks, but with some ingenuity and focus, you can achieve an ultimate ground tackle system that will never let you down. You know, when we're on the cruise, we're going to be spending most of our time on the hook, God willing, in a beautiful place with crystal clear water and plenty of fish. But we'll get to that eventually. But for today, we're going to set up the system, we're going to show you everything we've done so far, and we're going to take you with us along the way.
Today on Sailing Liberty.
As I was going over the Cork and Kerry mountains, I met with Captain Farrell and his money he was counting. I first produced my pistol and then produced my rapier. Stand and deliver, for you are a bold deceiver. I said, ooh-rama-doo-rama-da. Wait for the daddy-o. Wait for the daddy-o, there's whiskey in the jar.
Friends, we are going all in. Our #1 upgrade will be ordering all chain rod. Some swivels and shackles. It is $1,655 whole dollars from Miami Cordage. You ask why we want to order so much of whole chain rod. Well, the answer is in Roy's Sailing Illustrated. We want to have maximum holding power, which is 7 or 8 to 1 scope. The scope means from the bow till the bottom of the sea, and it has the best holding power through the storms. Half of the holding power is 4 to 1 scope, and quarter of the holding power is 2 to 1 scope. With 300 feet of chain, we're gonna sit nice and pretty. I recommend you guys to read it. It's really nice book to have on board.
Woo. 300 feet of 3/8 chain, galvanized ACO chain, the best.
Dang.
476 pounds. There's fine, sir.
Woo.
Wow. You're a very strong man, sir. Look at this. That's our beautiful new chain. Nice. There's our swivel, and our shackle, and our seizing wire. Ooh. Here's our gypsy. That's like a glove. Cool, huh?
Hey fellas, remember the old saying, rub your balls with grease? Maybe not? Well, this is the old mnemonic device that the salty old seafarers remember the markings on the chain. It is red, yellow, blue, white, and green. Rub your balls with grease. Got it? But beware, sailor, not all the boats are same. But this is the best standardized system we have got. Now, let's paint. We're gonna paint every 30 feet to different colors so we can track how much chain we let out. Rub red, your yellow, blue with grease. Let's paint it green. You're getting it, you scallywags. Rub your balls with grease, everybody, because Captain wants to know how much scope you let out.
Skipping a color on each one here because, well, you know, frankly, at the other end of the chain, we did the same thing, but the opposite, I guess.
Delicious. The last 10 feet gonna be a warning track. White and green, so we know that we have to stop.
What do you think?
Looks pretty good.
Kind of delicious like candy, don't you think?
Yes. Sweet like peppermint.
The #1 tip when using an all-chain rod is you have to do your bitter end with rope. We're using 3/4 inch nylon 3-strand. This rope is amazingly strong. You would think that it might be the weak link, but it's rated at 13,800 pounds, where the chain is rated at 5,400 pounds. Talk about the weak link. It's not here. So we're gonna run this through 2 lifting eyes or nut eyes that are affixed to the back of our mooring cleat. They're 1/2-inch thread, and they cost quite a few bucks, by the way. They're 3/16 stainless, and they're rated at 2,200 pounds each. So I'm gonna run it through 2, and that gets me up to around 4,400 pounds. So that doesn't sound like the best situation, but this is only for 2 possible scenarios that we're gonna need this. One, if we accidentally let all our chain run out and we don't wanna lose it, it's gonna be attached to the boat. But 2, in an emergency, if you cannot escape any other way, you might have to slip your cables. Make sure your bitter end's up on deck where you can cut it in case worst comes to worst. And please, in either instance, attach a mooring ball or a buoy or even just a silly old fender to your chain, because you're gonna wanna come back and get it when conditions improve. That's it, our bitter end is tied off to our mooring post, and that's a strong point we can count on. Make sure you find a strong point that's really strong. Kind of know how strong it is, or you're gonna end up with a hole in your boat, at least.
Number 2, windlass. I went through the nav station and found out the previous owner did the survey on 2012. And about windlass, it said that they couldn't try the motor because they had no battery. I have seen the motor and I have a hunch it's a toast.
Yeah, everything's really sticky and really corroded. So let's just cut these freaking wires off and pull this motor off this windlass quick.
Oh yeah!
We got some pretty heavy corrosion in here. I mean, that is looking pretty rough right in there. That was the bottom. We had flushed it out pretty good on the top with some good strong chemicals, but the bottom didn't do as well.
Wow.
Run the bucket upside down, stand on it.
That's a lot of boxes. What do we have here? Oh yeah, La France. Made in Italy. 1000 watt, 12 volt, 3 wire. It's heavy and good. So we have the cover for the windlass motor. It's looking pretty dirty in there. This is supposed to be a watertight housing.
I am using the acid.
This is the worst hose you've ever seen in your life.
I think it's pretty good.
Yeah. For a few dollars more, La France will sell you this knee-free gasket. Ooh, it fished in really good. That's really great. So I'm gonna set the keyway and slide everything in. The windlass is like a forward deckhand. It's expensive, but you only have to pay it once. All the connections are made, hydraulic crimp, double shrink wrap, and taped up. Should be good and watertight now. Good job, everybody. We're getting ready for our first hurricane. It's the calm before the storm, and I'm gonna set out a 1-inch 3-strand to a nearby cedar tree. This is my first time to see the windlass turn. I hope it does turn. Wow, the warping drum is working great. We got some good tension. We got the boat centered up just in time. The range signifies the front coming in. The storm is right behind it. People are getting really freaked out, and everybody's got a different way to deal with the stress. Some are pretty weird.
Holy cow, Helen! Here we are in Yankeetown during the hurricane. Ooh, we're about to get flooded. We're trying to get the boats off the dock. Anyways, that's about all we have for you right now. Ooh!
Thanks, David. Back to the coverage of the storm. The high water is what the locals worry about. The wind is what we worry about. I'm not really feeling it. I don't think our main anchor is sufficient for a hurricane. It's more of a lunch hook on a boat this size.
We are really dangerously close to the ground and wind just keeps blowing.
Oh, wow. We've lost an anchor. Our line broke. We don't know when. Our side anchor. We had chafe, just like you're always worried about. Dang, we're gonna have to drop another big anchor. I hope we don't lose the CQR. It's one of my favorites. Drop the anchor, and once more we are safe from lee shore. Aye, but some substantial upgradings must be made. What a night.
Number 3, anchoring. And maybe the most important upgrade. What do you think? we are getting ourselves the biggest and the best anchor we can get for our size boat. Anchor and ground tackle are really busting our budget, but thank God Philip needs our help with loading oysters. And it doesn't hurt a little bit that these are my favorite oysters I ever tried. Yeah, a new load comes in. Friends, you remember Philip from the oyster documentary. If you haven't seen it yet, check it out and find out where the oysters come from. And now he shows us how to open one.
So to open the oyster, we want to stick the knife blade in about 1/4 of an inch, and then it'll bottom out. But what you don't want to do is twist it while you're pushing it in. That's how the knife can slip and you can cut your hand. So we're going to slip the knife blade in there. It's bottomed out, and we're just going to give it a twist and pop the shell, separate the shell.
Wow, that's
so
easy.
we can get the knife blade in here. We have an eye on the top and an eye on the bottom. We want to cut the eye on the top first to get rid of the shell.
Wow, it's a
There we go.
beauty.
And now we want to cut the bottom eye. That frees the oyster completely.
Thank
There
you.
you go.
Bottoms up, you two.
Creamy, buttery, and salty.
Mmm, good and salty. That's a great oyster. Doesn't matter if the tide's coming in or out. The oyster's always going to be salty, which makes it unique.
And these are your favorite oysters?
Best oyster in the country. Absolutely.
Three done. 52 to go. Rocna, here we go. 4 done. 51 to go.
That's 22 bags. A little something for the raw bar, get them through the next day. Yeah, delicious. We don't have any oysters in here at all. Oh, well, let's see what we can do about that.
I got your pals in here though.
Good man, good man. Do you know what you're looking for as far as how many bags?
Whatever y'all can give me.
Okay, all right, let me go. Helen will go in and check the paperwork and see if Phil left it pre-filled out. And otherwise we'll get started unloading.
Not that many. Oh, you should see the other one.
Oh boy, that's a solid wall of oyster.
So we have today our last pickup, and then we order our Rocna.
Oh, I'm ready to load.
So our last pickup before we can order the Rocna. We're really happy we can afford and we don't get the big minus in our savings. And now when this is done, we can start all over again. Wow!
All right, so we're not going to stop loading oysters.
No, this wasn't just
that
one.
wasn't our last load.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, in
But-
fact, we have another one tonight. So I'm going to Hamilton Marine. We were trying to get an order put in today for an anchor. 4 to 5 days. Wonderful. Wow, I love you guys. What's going on, sweet Mary?
So our anchor arrived, 73-pound Rocna.
Wait, did you open it? How do you know
No.
it's our anchor?
Well, you will see. I was like, what is that anchor? Who ordered the Rocna anchor? We ordered the Rocna anchor.
We didn't even know it shipped. Oh my God!
I wonder if I can carry it. Wow. Oh, I can lift it. The oyster workout really worked out. This is our hurricane anchor.
Is it really that big? What?
I'm so happy. It was all worth it.
I mean, it's huge.
Do you want me to open this? Okay. Yeah, you just get in the mojo and then it starts to peel itself.
Is that an invoice?
Shipping was actually $55.56, cheapest deal. And it was
Hamilton.
from Maine. It was like the furthest place and the cheapest deal. You go wondering. One of the best anchors, they say. And we wanted one. Are your anchors painted? According to Royce's Sailing Illustrated, painting anchors white gives you much better visibility. And I'm telling you something, he's right.
You've got to have a swivel down at your anchor. You put a shackle on the anchor and you put a swivel on the shackle. And then you put the swivel on the chain and not the other way around. You say why? Well, because your chain can lock and it takes a very small amount of turn to lock it and make it bar rigid. And that's not a lot. You say, oh, well, whatever, it's strong. Well, yeah, it's strong. It's strong enough to twist your anchor right out of the mud. Or, even worse, it's strong enough to resist your gypsy. So when your gypsy's rolling up your chain, the chain's got to go in straight every time. And if you get a little bit of a twist on it, you're slipping links. You're damaging your gypsy and you're going to beat up your equipment. Plus, you're not retrieving your anchor now, are you? So you got to let it swivel at the bottom of the sea and your anchor's going to come up clean. And you're going to be a happy camper. That's how you do it. Dirty.
What? Look at that. Wow, that's beautiful.
All right, so we need a deck wash down up here.
Number 4, new riser. The system is only as strong as its weakest link. This wood is 43 years old and showing its age. Wow.
Crazy.
It's not that bad actually, but it could be a lot better.
It could be brand new with brand new mahogany, just like the mast steps.
Yeah. So me and Dad, we are having little pizzas in Tundra, and we are going to get the wood, the African mahogany for the windlass space.
Thanks, Daryl, for loaning us this freaking beautiful Denali. Appreciate that. 100% new. Back to basics.
Yeah. So let's see what we're gonna find out.
7 inches.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay, great.
So I'm gonna give you this whole thing. So.
Cool, awesome.
Excellent, perfect. Our buddy's gonna loan us his saber saw to cut the custom of the shape. Some high quality wood. That's how we do it around here. On the windlass, we're just gonna stack these, and we're gonna take our old windlass base and we're gonna trace it onto each one of these, and then we're gonna cut them with the saber saw, and then we're gonna have our stack that way.
Awesome.
Intricate cuts. Thanks for making these for us.
Yeah.
We'll make the other one ourselves.
There's that.
Under your thumb.
I was like, it's just her.
Yeah. That's an ad we did in Estonia for a jewelry company.
Sailing Liberty.
Liberty! Liberty!
Awesome. I'll check you guys out.
Thanks, man. Thanks for the wood.
Of course. My pleasure.
Woohoo!
We got the wood.
Got the wood, and there it is. It seemed so complicated when we were talking about it, but hope they're the right size. Hey, it was only 80 bucks too, which is kind of amazing. We'll have a lot extra though. I'm gonna drill a series of holes for the boss here that will be sawn between it with a saber saw to make this little chain pipe out of wood.
The last one.
A little wet on the wood.
Oh, the red looks nice.
Yeah, that gives you some idea what she's gonna look like. All right, that is wet on both sides. We're gonna put the seam in the front because the chain is gonna ride in the back. That is beautiful. Look at that. Right now we're making sure that there's no air. There's our feature. Can't wait to see this with a finish on it. It's gonna be gorgeous.
So now we have to cut the hole in the middle for all the wires.
It's a filler stain. It fills the open grain.
And it's stained.
You don't want to take off too much.
Wow.
Isn't that beautiful? Look at that little mark right there. So they're going across the grain. So we're leaving all the filler in the grain.
No, Jesus was a carpenter.
Yep.
Just got the first coat of varnish done.
This will be the third coat. Just brushed it all across. Just make sure everything's filled in. Now I'm going to give a quick, careful, always brush off the piece. Otherwise you could unload your brush on the edge of the piece and then you have a big drip down the side. This is tipping where you just use the very tips. That looks pretty good. You don't want to overwork your product. We're finally going to have all of our deck hardware back in business and we're going to be able to anchor like champions.
It's great there though.
It is rock solid. It's going to draw down a lot more when we start getting those bolts tightened up on the windlass. The old one's actually not that bad.
Yeah, but when you put it next to the new one.
I had a crazy idea. Why don't we get some canvas made for our windlass to help cover up the chain hole and so on. Chain pipe. Oh my God, that is exactly made for this.
And they're gonna protect our wood
Yeah.
from the sun damage.
Yeah. Good. Thanks, previous owner Charlie, for the free canvas. First time on open water, boy, it's beautiful. But this is a shakedown cruise, and we're ready for a real world test of this equipment.
The bridle holds the chain, and therefore there is no load on the chain. The chain is loose.
$200 for a couple pieces of rope seems like a lot, but these are made to spec. 17,000 pounds of strength. They are not the weak link. Anchored in 22 feet of water with a big old storm coming our way, you're glad to have that shock absorption.
I think we painted it white.
Yeah, it's really good. Wow. Okay, we got a problem. Helen is attempting to stabilize the windlass because the deck is straining under the load. We're gonna have to do something about that. Not good.
Number 5, the deck repair and the backing plates. Hey, you can have the best ground tackle the money can buy, but if it tears your deck off, you have to buy another one.
Well, let's not do that, and let's whip a little deck repair here and there among friends. It happens every now and then, and we're gonna cut a nice little square out here, see what's going on, do a little undermining, do a little fixing. It'll be rock solid. Not a problem, and here we go. That ought to pop right out with a little help from my friend, Little Richard Prybar. Interesting. Not bad, actually. Not bad at all. So
Wow.
A little bit of rot.
You think we could have left it?
It's just a little dry rot. You know, all boats got it. It's above the waterline here. We're just gonna do a nice little thickened epoxy fill and we'll hollow everything out. It's gonna be great. That's a lot of Gorilla Tape. It's sticking like glue though. I said Gorilla, not Gorilla. Just to make sure that nothing's gonna come down and leak in here, we wanna keep all our epoxy in the deck. Gonna wet this out with some straight liquid epoxy. Get everything wet. Back underneath. It's like raspberry ice cream. Yeah, I'm adding thickened on top. Got everything wet, coating all the edges, and filling it in real nice. Give a really nice surface for the butyl rubber to go to.
And sealing all the edges so no moisture can leak in.
Pushing a little bit down in these old screw holes.
It's time soon for the paint job.
Yeah, it's starting to seem like it's in the future, hopefully. All right, got this nice and wet.
how easy is the deck repair.
All right, that's one step closer to being a world-class cruiser. Well, it's at least one step closer to not being another joker up on the rocks trying to find a crane guy to lift you off and in the market for a new ground tackle. Let's tap our deck and see how the work from last night turned out. That's solid. That's a known solid. Sharp and clean. Oh yeah, she's rock solid. It's worth the while to make a deck repair every chance you get. Remember, sailors, epoxy is not UV resistant, but paint is. Plus, neatness always counts on a yacht.
Now the windlass backing blades. This is the last straw. I'm moving out to the galley. Hey! They said it's gonna take a couple of days. Well, I say it will take about a week.
I know the bolts are on 6.5-inch centers, yeah, but those are some long pieces of all thread. Who knows if they're meandering all over the place, so it never hurts to have a template. It can only help. I'm gonna get the template on there. I'm gonna dent this cardboard with the ends of those bolts. It's gonna give me exact distance. So when I drill my holes, they're gonna line up the first time. Here, I know what to do. You need to go on deck and stick your arm through that hole and push it to the back of this cardboard. One here, starboard, front, back.
On the boat you need a whole socket set because in some places you just can't reach. 9/16. I'm ready. Gloves and sleeves.
You got it already?
The
That ratchet really
easiest
makes
one.
it easier, huh? Let's see what you got there. So it's an old piece of chain plate they used, huh? Well, you can fit in there really well.
Not happy about it.
You don't like it? This is yachting, Helen. Helen is the best yacht girl in the world. She's also an excellent chef.
The forward starboard is loosened out.
Can't believe you can fit in there like that. You're amazing, sweetie.
Okay, now it's not fighting anymore.
Thank you.
Anything I can do to help, ma'am?
Okay, going back to my home.
Why it doesn't catch? The ratchet doesn't work because the nuts were really loose, and that was the part of the problem why our deck was straining from all this load. Our anchor is 73 pounds and all this all-road chain, it's too much.
I did it that much.
Woo! You're flying. We're gonna have that windlass back off of here in no time.
Nice. The windlass is off again.
Rummaging through the fire debris, we found this great old piece of stainless. We're gonna give it a new life and save a few bucks while we're at it. Got to cut it down to size and mark it up, drill it, and dry fit it on the boat.
Happens every time.
I'm sure it's nothing. It's always an air gap. Let me get that. Yeah. Little elbow grease goes a long way.
That is marking.
Got to get it laid out right.
Gonna be super strong structure. We can anchor in peace.
And sleep like little baby kittens on the hook. Now that hole right there is going to turn into a much bigger hole. Just like that, we're gonna blow out these holes. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. We'll go back in and dry fit it. We'll put the backing plates in, we'll put these on, then we'll draw our chains down. It's gonna be from rock. We're not gonna worry one bit.
Mark the metal.
Yeah, mark it. Another dead battery. It's a lot of cutting. That's a lot of dead batteries. Wow. That's a big hole and a big piece of metal. 1 down, 2 to go. This hole is going to be for the port side secondary road for the secondary anchor. Oh yeah. Boy, that one went quick. Got to put a little bit of push into it. Wow, that one went even quicker. 3 big holes, 1 for the chain fall, 2 for the deck pipes, 3 to get ready. Here we go, on to the next step. Just to give you some idea how big these backing plates are, we got a 2 by 2 foot area here. This is a ton of backing plates because all the pressure's lifting from behind. And this is gonna be about as big a backing plate as we can squeeze in here without running into a lot of other major obstacles inside the boat. We got all our holes cut. We're gonna take and mount these suckers on the inside now, and to get the most stability possible for our windlass and its big working load.
The first one is on.
Okay, good, here's another one.
The second bolt shifted. You have to wiggle it. Yeah.
All right, I'm going.
Oh, okay, that's so much better. Thank you. The knot is on. The nuts are on.
Wow, everything's lining up. We would have never got it together again except for the wiggle room. Yeah, you always got to allow some wiggle room. 1/2-inch holes and 3/8 bolts. That's 8 bolts, that's a lot of wiggle room. Between the 8 of them, it's not much at all.
All the nuts are on, everything fits perfectly. Guys, if you want to get me a new bikini, check out my Amazon wish list with all the bikinis I like.
I saw the sold Riot listed for sale, 10 years old, and it looked like hell. All my friends said don't, I replied, oh Lord, it's an F-150 long bed full. It stores my tools, can haul a load, but it drinks up gas, and now I'm broke. I jack it up, put on lifted off-road tires, and V-locks on. It's got a little attitude, ain't it grand? It does the mud as well as the sand, it defines me.
Robert, there's your turnbuckle. We got some chain, some shackles, and I'm gonna see what I can do to set this thing up to help with our anchor windlass flex. Well, the backing plates are a big upgrade, and now we've upgraded that with our tie-down system here with the turnbuckle to make it nice and snug. Depending on the construction of your boat, the turnbuckle system might be the way to go. 2 lifting eyes at the back of our windlass base, couple of shackles, couple chain links, and then we go to a central point. Thanks, Robert George, for the turnbuckle. To a chain, and then that goes down to another lifting eye down at the bottom. The anchoring bolt for the tensioner comes right through this angle iron right here at the middle, and it spreads the load all the way across the bulkhead. We put some turns on this turnbuckle, and we got a constant pressure pulling down on the back of the windlass. Improvement on top of our improvement. Hallelujah. You know what? God bless us all. I think we're going to be in good shape at anchor.
And the big project of the crown tackle is all done.
We're going to sleep like babies.
See you next time
on Sailing Liberty. Whoa!
Okay, I can eat now.
Thanks for watching. If you like, comment. And please subscribe. We're a new channel. Every subscription counts. Thank you so much. And we look forward to seeing you on the next show. Sailing Liberty.
flyer. Charge, you scallywags.
Aye, Captain.
Like any great adventure, it begins with a girl and a sword. Before you know it, the tail twists into a T-shirt.
Hey, click in the link below in description box and get one of our shirts.
Buy now and join the adventure.